What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Curtis Rose Show. I'm your host, Curtis, of course. You're probably asking yourself, man, where's Curtis been? Or man, where is he now? I am actually out on my bike. So this is going to be, you know, when I started the channel, I didn't name it like Curtis's video game reviews or Curtis's movie reviews, anything like that. I just wanted to leave it open because it's my channel and who knows what I was going to do with it. I don't know. I may start flying airplanes on there as well. That's actually a thought. But anyway, I watch a lot of motovlogs myself and subscribe on YouTube, so I figured I would try out something like this myself. So welcome to the first ever Curtis Rose Show motovlog. So this will be episode 1. I don't know if this will be a new thing going forward or if I'm going to make some more, or I mean, I don't know. It's like I just figure we'd give it a shot, see kind of how it went, how it works. I actually had to kind of rig up this mount. When I get stopped, I'll try to show you in the mirror. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I have my GoPro 10 mounted to the front of my Batman helmet. So I actually have my HJC Alpha 11 Pro helmet on right now with a chin mount that I actually bought off Amazon from a company called Dango Designs. They're pretty awesome. They actually, most of the mounts that I looked at for chin mounts, they just kind of strap on, and of course, it won't go onto my other helmet. My other helmet is a Shoei X14. It's more of a race helmet, so it's got like really sharp points and nowhere really for this to grip onto. So I figured I'd throw it on the Batman helmet, and honestly, it looks like it was made for the Batman helmet. The way it contours to the front of the helmet and the way it works is just seems to be on there really well. And it's a kind of an ingenious design. It's like a clamping mechanism that kind of like a big clip, but it like has a lot of pressure on it, and then the front conforms to the front of the helmet, and then it also even comes with a safety lanyard that goes up under your chin strap. So if for some reason everything was to go wrong and the entire mount and camera came off, you wouldn't lose your camera or your mount. It would just drop down in front of your chest. So pretty amazing design. I had tried the GoPro, like I said, on my other helmet, on my Shoei X14, and it just wouldn't stay on, especially at high speeds. And honestly, I kind of like to drive at high speeds. I'm not right now because I'm just here in town, but I'm just going to kind of do a short, like I said, short little motovlog, kind of talk about the bike, talk about what I've been up to, and just kind of take you guys on a ride with me. You get to see what the scenery's like. So I'm just going to do a quick trip over to the park, and then after there I'll probably shoot out towards the airport. There's some back roads behind the airport I like to go to and ride, because you can just kind of open it up a little bit more and kind of, you know, not be on the main roads where the speed's regulated so much. But anyway, so first thing is, where have I been? I've been working all the time. So my job position changed at work a little bit, so I have to work a lot more, it seems, which, you know, more money, more problems. But I work a lot. And so I haven't been able to make a video, and I changed up my office. I redid it. So, because I bought me actually a new gaming PC. Maybe I'll make a video on that. So yes, I no longer have just a Mac. I now own a PC as well. So I bought me a really nice gaming PC, and then I have a setup for it for my flight simulator, because the whole point of buying the computer was pretty much so that I could play Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and run it well. So I kind of went a little overboard. I'm a huge fan of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. To anyone who knows me outside of YouTube, I'm a huge av geek, so I'm an aviation nerd. So what I did is I actually, Thrustmaster put out a licensed Boeing 787 Dreamliner yoke and throttle quadrant. So that's pretty amazing, and pedals. And I built the pedal, or I bought the pedals, and then I built this carpeted platform that they go on to hide all the wires, and then of course I have my Boeing 787 yoke, which is one of the first controllers. I mean, they have yoke controllers out, but most of them are like the honeycomb, which are nice, but they're kind of like a Cessna style. This is actually a 1/1 scale replica of the Dreamliner controls. So it's amazing, and it was expensive, I'm not gonna lie, quite a bit of money, but it is very well built. It's all metal construction. On the inside, you can adjust the tension on the springs. Oh, please don't hit that squirrel. And also you can, of course, you know, it's plastic on the outside, but it has all the amazing buttons, and it's awesome. There's some people chasing each other with fishing poles. But anyway, this is our local park. There's the duck house out there. Been there for years. And this is actually a really nice park. I used to come here and run all the time. And then, of course, you got the fountain down here. But anyway, back to the Boeing controls. And I have a full throttle quadrant that can simulate a 787 and a 747. And it is just amazing flying with that controls. I mean, the game is good, like when you're playing a controller, it's beautiful, but I mean, you just can't get as accurate as you can with real flight controls. So some of my takeoffs and landings have been amazing. It's just awesome barreling down the runway in a 787 Dreamliner. You know, hearing your V1 call, that's when you rotate. That's, you know, when you pull back on the controls basically to lift off. So you just rotate, and it even has a landing gear toggle switch on it, like just like the real one. You flip the gear up. It's just awesome. So I've been having a lot of fun with that in my free time. But anyway, I kind of had to redo my office. So before I'd had it kind of set up as my set, and the bad thing about that is it was cool, but I had these giant, like 24-inch soft boxes that I had to have on either side of me to light the light the room and light me, and then of course I had my backlight behind me. I come from a photography background, so that's why I always try to have some good quality, but it really sucked setting at a desk. I just felt cooped up. I remember I was banging into my microphone a couple times, so and then of course the two giant lights shining in your face is not pleasant, and I didn't really want to do the videos in sunglasses because people would think I was being an idiot. We got a goose or duck, I can't ever remember what they're called. Anyway, party over there. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to change my office and make it a functional office, and then later I can maybe set up the camera around that. That is the Stang Mobile. It's interesting, and with a Christmas wreath on the front. And what's it say on the other side? 42 mentality. We got a duck crossing up here, or goose, geese, whatever crossing. Like I said, I can't ever get it right. But anyway, so I just kind of made it more of a working office, and then a set kind of second. And the other thing, that's going to be my upload schedule. I know I just don't upload a lot of videos because, like I said, I really don't have a lot of time. But I'm kind of wanting to take this channel in a new direction. I always wanted to do movie reviews and game reviews, and most of them just ended up being rants. And I mean, they got quite a few views, but it was just me usually mad about something. Those always tended to do the best, but so I figured I would mix it up. Like I said, I got this new GoPro Hero 10 Black, so I figured I'd put it to some use and maybe do some footage on the bike. And like I said, I really may do some plane videos. I may do some videos of my cockpit setup for my flight simulator and show some stuff on my computer. I may even do a review on my bike that I'm riding right now. This is basically, I call it the Bat Bike. So I am wearing my Batman helmet. I do have a bat symbol on the back of this bike. This is completely blacked out. I removed all of the logos, the branding basically, and replaced the normal symbols with just the Ryker symbols. But I am on the Can-Am Ryker. And I bought this at the end of last summer, and I'm at about 1,400 miles, and it's got a lot of pros, and it's got some cons. It's a little different being on 3 wheels because I come from 2 wheels, so it takes a little bit of getting used to, but I'm making it, and make sure everybody's good. Oh, here comes everybody, so let's take off. So it is different. I do not have to shift. It does have an automatic transmission on it, which takes some getting used to, but is awesome because it's shaft driven. And this thing has got some get up and go. I mean, like the first time it's got a lot of torque, very torquey. The first time I ever test drove it, I almost flew off the back. But I've done a lot of work to it. I did an LED conversion kit on one of my earlier videos you saw where I did a grill review. So I got a custom grill put in, and then I've changed a lot of things, made them custom. Of course, I added the hand guards. The spoilers, the instrument spoiler, I have a tail on this. You'll see from the thumbnail, I believe. You could probably be able to see. But it looks mean. It literally looks just like something like Batman would ride. So I'm like, that's awesome. It's my Bat Bike. So I usually wear my matching shirt and helmet. Today I just have on a black shirt and my Batman helmet. Didn't want to overkill it. And of course my vanity plates for Batman, and then my bat symbol on the back. But yeah, just one quick thing on the helmet. The mount, like I said, I basically got the mount on there and got it all how I wanted it. And then the reason you can hear me is I'm using like a professional, Rode lav mic, and I basically disassembled my helmet, the insides, ran all the wires and the mic all up inside there. So you actually can't even see it when I don't even have the camera mounted on. If you look inside, you can barely see it, kind of right over to the right of my mouth a little bit. You see the microphone with the windscreen. So I'm hoping the sound comes through pretty well on it. I did a test on my other helmet. The audio sounded fine, it's just the video wouldn't stay on. So yeah, so I'm hoping that the voice sounds good and that I'm not too loud or just blowing it out. If so, I'll have to adjust it and post a little bit. But it seemed to kind of cut out a lot of the wind noise and stuff. Of course, tonight it actually is windy. But anyway, so like I said, I just thought I'd take you guys along on a ride with me. And this is what it's like to ride on 3 wheels. Like I said, 2 wheels is, similar, just different. I mean, on 2 wheels you lean and counter steer, and on 3 wheels you still lean, but you do not counter steer. Kind of a whole different beast as far as controlling. But it is, like I said, very stable, and honestly, it's a very high-tech bike. It has a lot of cool features on it. It's got like a stability system, and it's crazy how accurate that thing is. And I've had some pretty close calls that normally I would have went down on 2 wheels, but the 3 was very stable, and the stability system kicked in and took care of what it needed to take care of. Of course, like I said, I've been riding for a long time. To those who don't know, I've had my motorcycle license for about over 12 years, and like I said, I started on 2 wheels. Oh, there's the popo. Better slow down for this. I started on 2 wheels. I started on a sport bike. Actually, I started on dirt bikes and then went up to a crotch rocket, Kawasaki Ninja. I love that bike. It was awesome. But the reason I got rid of it, it was just too much. And what I mean by too much, I was like, it's just too fast. Like, I was going to get silly with it. And this bike is very quick. I'm looking at getting me a Honda Grom for fun. I know it's like they kind of have their whole own Grom culture that I'd like to participate in, and I actually saw one today at the gym. It was a yellow one. It was awesome. They're kind of smaller bikes. They're 125 cc's, but they get 140 miles to the gallon, which in today's world would be awesome. You could put a tank of gas and drive around for a month on the thing. But anyway, so like I said, I am looking at getting another 2-wheeled motorcycle to go with my 3-wheeled because I really like this. But trust me, I feel like I have, if anybody out there is older watching this video, if you ever watched Street Hawk or Airwolf back in the 80s, those were like prototype vehicles. I feel that's almost what this is like. I've always been kind of interested in a reverse trike or 3 wheels, but I really wasn't crazy about the Can-Am Spyder. I thought they looked too much like a touring bike. So I ended up just, I was like, I wanted one, but I was like, I didn't really like the look of the Spyder. And then when I saw the Ryker, I saw pictures of it online, I saw some videos, I was like, holy crap, I was like, that thing looks mean. Because it just looks a lot, and it is a lot sportier. It's like, it's almost kind of like a naked bike, meaning it doesn't have a big windscreen and stuff like that. But I really like the way it looks. It looks really mean, and like I said, so it went kind of with the whole Batman theme that I was going for. So this thing is completely blacked out. The only gloss parts, the gloss black on this bike, are these 2 panels here, and then the front side of this, and then my spoiler, my instrument spoiler, which kind of acts as like a little miniature windshield. But anyway, like I said, the bike has its pros and its cons, but it is very high-tech. But back to the uniqueness of the prototype, that's what I feel like. It's like everything for this bike is expensive. So anything you want, it's like you just can't go get off the shelf like you could on like a Honda. So like this thing is, the nearest dealer is an hour and a half from me, so that's where I'd have to get my parts from and everything. But like I said, so far I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of, I took a break from riding for a little while and kind of got back on, and like I said, the Ryker's really helping me love it. I just have been having fun with the bike, and it definitely turns a lot of heads. But anyway, I'm gonna probably kind of cut the video for a second, maybe do an edit here, and then I'm gonna pop back up when I'm closer to the airport. All right, and we're back. So we're kind of out here on kind of a back road. There's the high school. Oh, look, everybody's out there. They're doing stuff. It's kind of cool. This is actually a newer high school. It's big. They have a lot of facilities. But anyway, every time I drive by here, I always think of Smallville for some reason. I always think of the high school and Clark, and all them. They spend a lot of time kind of out on the football field. But that is, like I said, one of the larger high schools in the area. These guys, when I was going to school, we didn't have that much. We had tennis. Actually, I went to a nice school. So we had tennis and a golf team and a swim team and all that stuff. None of which I was on because I was the art geek. So I spent most of my time in the art building because I was an art major. And and an advanced art student. But anyway, I like this road because, like I said, it's kind of this used to be the main highway through this area, but then they built like a big super highway over a little bit. So this is now kind of became back roads. But I kind of like to drive back here because we're going to come up here and go over some railroad tracks, and then we make a left, and then you get to our huge international airport that has 2 runways and cannot even accommodate a 737, which they're working on. So maybe I'll get some of that on video. They are expanding it, so it's going to start flying in bigger planes like the 737. I've actually flown out of this airport quite a few times. Makes flights to Chicago, and but it's on one of the what is the CRJ 200, like a Canada regional kind of jet. It's like 50 passengers is what it holds on it. It's fast, I'll tell you that. It's awesome. One night we were coming in and we had to divert, and they were going to divert us to Nashville, and I was like, oh great. I mean, Nashville's about 2 hours from where I live. Anyway, in that jet, as soon as they put the gear up and got back up to a good cruising altitude, they literally made 2 left turns, and they're like, okay, we're in Nashville. I was like, holy crap. It only took like 10 minutes. But like I said, this is one of my favorite areas to ride. I come out here and have fantasies of like Top Gun, me pretending, I'll have my sunglasses on, pretending to be Tom Cruise racing along the runway. The only difference is there are no fighter jets here. You're lucky if you see a Cessna or anything like that. But so let's make a turn here, and there's the poppy lights. To anyone who's not familiar, those lights out there on the side of the runway, here's some trivia for you. You want 2 red and 2 white when you're landing. That shows that you're on the right glide slope to come in. Basically, if they're all white or 3 white, you're too high. If they're all red, you're dead. That means you're too low and you're going to crash into the ground. So it's really cool how they're set up so that they're just at the right angles for a pilot to see it from the cockpit. And but yes, so the goal is 2 red, 2 white. That means that you're right on the glide slope and you're going to land good. I don't know if they have any jets out here now. United sometimes has some out here. Let's see, but this is where I like to race along the... Nope, nothing out there. We'll go along the back road. There's I'll show you where the new terminal's being built at. There's our huge air traffic control tower. I don't even know if they have anyone in it. It may just have a Roomba in it, like bumping around, pressing buttons. But that's it. And then there's kind of one of the new terminals. So we're going to go through this turn. Like I said, to any of you who do not ride bikes or anything, you never want to have a death grip on the bike. So if you notice, I'm kind of just loose, except for, of course, my throttle. But you want to have a good throttle wrist so that you're not accidentally giving a throttle when you do not need to. But on this bike to turn, you basically turn with your left hand for most of it. Keep your hand, steady on the throttle. You just push when you want to go right. So just gently push on the left, and then the bike just turns. The hardest part getting used to when I had 3 wheels was I just kept fighting the bike. I was like, man, this just doesn't want to do what I want. But I was so used to just using my body on 2 wheels, which you do have to use your body on this a little bit. Like I said, I am leaning, as you can probably tell from the video. You lean over to the right if you're making a right turn. It makes it where the basically the lateral G's doesn't throw you basically off the side of the bike. Anyway, that's a beautiful view. Sun kind of behind the clouds. We're going to run through this road closed sign and just keep going just to see what they do. Just kidding. I'll stop. But anyway, like I said, there's our huge air traffic control tower. But it does look like they're building a nice terminal. Way better than the one that they have there. That looks about like, I don't know, like an old school cafeteria that's been converted into an airport. But I will say this. The nice thing about our smaller airport is you can actually fly internationally, which I have done. So you can actually go through all your TSA stuff right there, just on a local, just kind of on a local smaller level, which is very nice. That way you don't have to get to Chicago or something like that and then go through all that. So you can actually check all your bags, do everything you want right there at the, of course, not that terminal, but the other one that's up there. But like I said, they're getting it all, done. It's taking them forever. I think they're extending the runway and stuff too. I believe they have 2 runways here. They're extending it so that it can accommodate larger aircraft, which they really need to do, which will open up more flight possibilities. But yeah, so like when I was leaving out, I basically flew out of our small airport and then of course touched down in Chicago and then boarded on the big baby, the 777, which is the biggest twin engine jet. Not to be confused with the 747. That's a quad engine or 4 engine. Just a little bit of the runway. But yes, they're huge. They hold like 400 something passengers, and they're almost uncomfortable. That's a long flight from Chicago to Tokyo. And man, my first flight there was like, it's like a 16-hour flight from Chicago to Tokyo. In 13 hours of it was turbulence, so you pretty much had to keep your seatbelt on. I really couldn't sleep, so I just watched a lot of movies. Luckily, they, you know, it's pretty high-tech. You got, you know, big screens, you know, right in front of you on the back of every headrest. And then I brought my headphones, hooked them up. I think I watched like every Disney movie pretty much. I watched, or at least the good ones from the 90s before they went all crazy. I watched Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, and then of course, then I turned it over to comedy. I started watching the Blues Brothers, and then I watched one of my favorites, Coming to America, with Eddie Murphy, and it's awesome. Love that movie. I still watch it today and can quote it. But like I said, I just like to come down this way. This is just kind of a cool little bike ride back through here. It's got some nice curves. You can kind of lean into them. You always want to accelerate through the turn. You never want to hit your brakes through the turn. That's bad. Because you basically can't have traction if you're braking. So you want to be accelerating. You want to brake before you get to the turn. Which this turn here, I'm not going to go through fast. This is like a sharp 90. There's a brief little view of the runway. But anyway, like I said, I've just been rambling on. I know this is probably going to be a longer video, but I don't care. It's like I said before, kind of, you know, I was worried about getting monetized and trying to make what the algorithm liked or talk about current events. And, you know, like I said, it's my channel. Who cares? I do appreciate all my subscribers, which are up to like 228 now. Which, I do thank every one of you for subscribing. But I know I'm never going to hit the 1,000 and get monetized. And then, of course, they've changed the way everything works. So I think you get like $3 for every, I don't know, it's like a couple thousand views or something. I mean, so my one video that got almost 2,000 views, I think, I would have made like a whopping $5 or $6. So that kind of sucks. So yeah, I'm just not in it for that anymore. So it's kind of freeing. I'll just make whatever kind of content I want. I may go skydiving and take you guys with me. Like I said, I may do some flying. I'm probably going to do some riding, and I may do some more motovlogs, depending on how this one turns out. Like I said, this is kind of new equipment, and I got this helmet set up, specifically my Batman helmet. I don't ride very much. It's a cool looking helmet, but it has some wind buffeting when you get up to really high speeds. So most of the time I'm wearing my Shoei X14 helmet, because that thing is amazing. I'm telling you, to anyone who rides out there, if you haven't ridden with a Shoei, that's what you need. And the Shoei X14 is the top of the line. Like I said, super high performance helmet. You can get going so fast, and it's weird when you move your head to the left and the right, you don't even feel it. Like, you feel the air on your chest, but you don't feel it on your head. It just goes right around the helmet. It's awesome. On this one, if I turn my head like there, I mean, it's fine. I can turn my head back, but I do experience some buffeting, as they call it. It's like, you know, you can almost get your head stuck in a position if you're going at a pretty high speed, which I'm not. I'm at like 54, 55 miles an hour. But when you get above 70, 80, 90, or into the hundreds, it's not comfortable with a helmet that has air buffeting. So like I said, but this is going to be my permanent Motovlog helmet setup. That way I'm not having to change it. And of course, it really didn't work with the Shoei race helmet very well anyway. Also, the audio, when I did a test, race fit helmets, nope, there's no big jets out there. Oh, bummer. I could stare at airplanes all day. There's like this one, I think it's a Cessna back here. It's just like parked back in the corner. See it back there? It's an old one. Just kind of back there. Poor guy. I don't know if anyone's flying that thing, or they just mow around it, or what they do. But anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Squirrel. I get to rambling on the bike. But anyway, on the helmet. So, like I said, it's not comfortable to have your head bouncing around like a bobblehead when you're traveling at high speeds. But if I'm going to be in town or like somewhere out here, and I know I'm not going to be over like 80, then the Motovlog helmet will be fine. And like I said, I set up the microphone, and it's all nice and neat and tucked away. Of course, I'm a little OCD, to those who know me. So it's not like anyone will ever, I didn't know what that was. It's not like anyone will ever see the inside of my helmet. But I know it's there, and it looks really nice, and everything's all tucked away. And it's super easy. I can just attach the GoPro on, literally just connects right on, and then you lock it on with the screw, and then it's good. You're good to go. and it really does match it. It seriously is like it's made. Like I said, it's Dango Designs. They were more expensive than the other chin mounts. Most of them are like $12 to $14. This was $50, but I get it. It's totally worth it. It's very nice the way it has adjustable. You can also use it just not on your helmet. You can take it off and like clip it on other things, which is pretty awesome. So that's kind of neat. And then of course, like I said, it has the safety lanyard, which I thought was a pretty ingenious design, and the way they designed it was a pretty ingenious design. To be honest, the way it fits and everything is just awesome. So I like it. So it's a winner. I need to put a review on Amazon and give it 5 stars because I'm very, very pleased with it. So let's get through here, kind of open it up there a little bit more. And like I said, there's no shifting, which I miss. I actually like the shift, but you get out here and you can just kind of open it up. It said I don't know how the wind noise is going to be. I'm experiencing the buffeting. I can't really tell because I have the stabilization or the kind of like their smooth motion turned on, so hopefully it's not giving you guys a bumpy ride, but my head's kind of wobbling around a little bit because of, like I said, the helmet. This helmet, by the way, wasn't cheap. It's a Batman helmet. It's was licensed, or is licensed. It has the DC on it, and it has like the bat symbol from the Justice League, which I wasn't crazy about the Justice League movie, but I do like the bat symbol. I thought it's cool, and I really didn't like Ben Affleck either as Batman. The new Batman, we'll mention some kind of nerdy stuff on here. The new Batman actually was pretty good with Robert Pattinson. I think he did a good job. It was kind of a different take, more of a dark, gritty to those who haven't seen it. I recommend it. I went and saw it at the theaters, and then of course I have it on HBO Max. I need to get it on 4K, see what that looks like. It's really hard to top the Nolan trilogy, though. I'm telling you, those were just great movies from start to finish. I loved them. And I thought Christian Bale did a really good job as Batman and Bruce Wayne. He kind of did a good mixture. Of course, in my heart, the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman will always be, you know, number one. June 23rd, 1989. I still celebrate it, by the way. Yeah, but June 23rd, 1989 at 12:45 in Theater 1 is where I saw Batman. And that was like one of the first movies that, I mean, all movies have had a little bit of hype, you know, like Star Wars, the old ones and stuff, but man, there was like Batmania that year. I remember like the summer leading up to its release. I had my Batman shirts, Batman toys, Batman keychains, Batman comics. I've always been a huge fan of Batman in comics. And because he just translates really well to the comic page. Whereas, because, you know, it's where he started. But Superman, which I am a Superman fan, but not so much in the comics, because he's more of something you need to see in action or in motion. So, you know, I was a big fan of Smallville, and of course loved Christopher Reeve as Superman. And I did really love The Man of Steel. I think Henry Cavill did a really great job as Superman. I think he does an awesome job. And I love Tom Welling as Clark in the Smallville series. It was just awesome. I mean, you know, the effects weren't the best back then, but still loved it. Thought it was great, and I have so many good memories of that. But anyway, I guess I'm going to wrap this up. Like I said, I'm just going to ride back into town, and I don't want to bore y'all with that, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about Batman, a little bit about bikes, and a little bit about the channel and where I've been. And so hopefully, like I said, you'll see some more videos coming up. Like I said, they are not going to be on a regular schedule, so make sure you have your notification bell turned on, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you can, you know, catch me whatever adventure that I'm going to go on. Like I said, I'm so glad that I didn't name it like the Curtis Movie Show or something. So the Curtis Rose Show is just an open invitation to adventure. I can put anything that I want on that. So anyway, like I said, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did like it, be sure to give me a like so that I can at least get some views on it. Like I said, not really caring about the monetization or reaching the 1,000 and the 4,000 watch hours. Most people have already clicked off anyway. My average view duration is like 1 minute and 30 seconds or something. So, you know, people have the attention span of gnats nowadays. But anyway, like I said, this is me signing off. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed the ride, and maybe I'll do some more, and then we'll talk some more in depth about the bike and maybe even give the bike a good review. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.